Right off rip, guys, this controller is compatible with the Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and also Microsoft Windows 10 and 11. All right, guys, let's get into the design of this controller. This controller is different from the Xbox 8bitdo Pro 2 controller they made. This looks like an Xbox controller compared to the integration of the PlayStation / Nintendo controller. I've always said it was a PlayStation 2 in my personal opinion. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments, but this feels better in my hands. I'm just going to tell you right off rip, when it comes to build and stuff, I just prefer an Xbox controller. I don't know if it's because I've been playing on Xbox since 360 or what, but when it comes to it, I just prefer this over anything else when it comes to PlayStation, Nintendo, anything really. That's why Nintendo makes the controllers like Xbox controllers, because, well, Xbox has the best controller. Another thing on this build is it has texture grooves on the bottom of it, so when you wrap your fingers around it and you're playing and you get an itch or you get sweaty and stuff, it just makes it a little bit more comfortable, making sure you have texture down there. That way you're not slipping off your controller, because I know you all sweat when you play the video game. One thing they didn't change on this controller is the D-pad. The D-pad on this controller still feels amazing, especially for you guys that love playing retro games. This D-pad is more likely my favorite D-pad to play in retro games, your favorite to play in fighting games, and I've even heard some people like to play it with sport games and stuff. But definitely the same D-pad as is on the other 8bitdo controllers. This thing also has the Xbox share button. Of course, it's a next-gen console controller, but also at the top there's a star. This star is to actually swap buttons around. So like if you don't want the X where the A is, you'll literally just hit those two buttons at the same time and then hit the star button. Those buttons actually will switch and you can play it with them like that if you're into that. And then if you want them back, you could just simply do the same thing in reverse. Just hit the two buttons again, hit the star button, and it fixes them back to where they want to go. Play with it, check it out, switch any of the buttons around, the triggers and the X, Y, B, and A, and the buttons I believe too at top, the right and left bumpers, also work for this. So it's a pretty cool feature. The joysticks on this, now if you see my last video of the 8bitdo Pro 2 versus the Spectrum Infinity, you'll hear I talk about the joysticks feeling just good. They feel tight. I don't know what it is about them, but for some reason 8bitdo, they just feel very springy and very nice. It's the same thing with this controller. The joysticks, in my personal opinion, feel very, very good. They feel tight, they feel springy, and I just have a good time using it, playing Fortnite and Call of Duty and stuff like that. Another thing this controller has on it is the two extra buttons on the bottom, P1 and P2. Now these can be programmed to any button that you want pretty much, and I say that because there's software with this. If you don't know about it, it's ultimate software you can download to the PC or even your phone. I recommend doing it on the phone because this controller connects to your phone wirelessly, and you literally can go in there and change any button to go to any button you want, which is a really cool feature. I wish other companies like Razer and PowerA would do the same thing, where you can just make any button literally. 8bitdo definitely has that over those competitors when it comes to customization in a software app. While we're on the app, you can also mess with your vibrator settings. There's 4 vibrators in here around the triggers and around the grips of the controller themselves. You can mess with the sensitivity and stuff, as well as your joystick sensitivity, the dead zone and all that. You can play with it in this app, and your trigger space for your dead zone and all that in the triggers too. So there's a whole lot of customization you can do in the app itself. And like I said, you can do it all from your phone. Super simple. Download the app, 8bitdo Ultimate app or something like that. I'll put links in the description below. This controller also has a toggle switch on it for mute. Now this is only will work with the 3.5mm cable for your wired headsets if you have it. And while we're on that, also you can mess with your game chat and game volume through the controller itself by just holding your profile button, which is on the bottom of the controller. Up and down controls your game, and then left and right controls your chat. So you can go and you'll hear a beep in your ear once it gets all the way low or all the way high. So that's just a simple way to do it if you have a wired headset. No, it will not work with wireless headsets before someone asks me in the chat. This is a Twitch. The comment section. The triggers on these are the same in my opinion as the 8bitdo Pro 2 controller. They feel exactly the same. I actually like triggers on this controller as well. It feels very good playing and stuff. It's very smooth to hit, and everything just seems very good on this controller so far. The one thing I don't like about the controller is it is wired. When I say I don't like it because it's wired, I don't like it because it's wired. I don't like it because I can't take the wire off. So when it comes to storing the controller or something, I have to do the whole old wrap it up routine if I want to do that, and I don't like doing that because you pull on this and eventually this is going to start giving out because everything is well made in China. Let me know in the chat if you've ever had an issue with a controller, this style controller, where it gives out right here from wrapping it up or something like that. Another way to do it is to wrap the cable up itself, not around the controller but the cable itself, and that way you're just not bending this as much. Also, you have 3 different profiles you can set up in the Ultimate app for different games and stuff. I do this personally with my Razer controller, where I have Fortnite and certain button set, Apex certain button set, and then Call of Duty certain button set. It just makes it easier for me. I can just click on a profile than trying to relearn every button where it goes and stuff. And you have 3 of them on here, and you can just cycle through them by touching it and cycling at the bottom of it when you turn on your custom buttons. One of the things I don't like about the controller is it does have a hefty price tag. It's $50. I do believe that's because it has an Xbox stamp on it, Xbox seal of approval, as you would say. There is a 10% coupon code right now as I'm recording this video. Make sure you go to the link below if you want to check it out. It'll break it down to $45. If you want to check out the 8bitdo Pro 2 controller I did, click on the video right here. And if you want to check on another Pro controller I did, check out the video right here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love.